Welcome back to Beelzebub the Jag. I've got my oxy-acetylene welding cylinders here. In truth, I've not actually done any oxy-acetylene welding for about 25 years. I've had all of the torches, the regulators on the bottles, but I haven't had any bottles. So I just want to do a bit of practice. I'm going to be a bit rusty and just want to make sure my equipment's working properly. And there are various sizes of nozzle to choose from. These just unscrew. And I'm going to try with a number 2. I've got number 3 here, I've got a number 1, I've got a number 13, which is that'd be something if you were welding something really thick, maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 millimeter thick plate. So we definitely won't need that. But what else is there? Oh, it doesn't matter. That one's, it's a pretty small nozzle, it's very, very small. And I'm just going to, just let these young boys pass. There we go. I'm just going to poke a pin into the very... you're supposed to have a special set of nozzle cleaners. They're like minute files, because you do get little bits of muck and tiny bits of spatter, and you do get special files, and I couldn't find them, and I forgot to buy some, so a pin should be okay, just to clear it all out. Make sure there's absolutely nothing in there. And I've got just an old brick and a piece of steel here. Now, let's just... There's a couple of ways you can weld. You can, if your join is completely perfect, you do not need any filler wire. Now I've just cut that with a pair of tin snips, so the fit is 100% perfect. If your panel fit is perfect, you do not need any filler wire. You can just use the torch. So what you do, you have to line it all up. And you generally have to do a couple of tacks, maybe every couple of inches, do little tacks. And you can literally just run the torch and make a molten pool and flow the two sides together. And you really do need it to show through, you need it to penetrate through the other side. If your panel fit's not 100%, you can't do that. And I mean 100%, you can't make it flow into fresh air. So if I push those two together, we can't see air, daylight through it. But that's purely because I've just trimmed that. Now, if your panel fit's not 100%, what you generally do is leave the tiniest of gaps. I don't know, less than 0.5 millimeter, but you can see a bit of daylight through there. But you will need to apply filler wire. So you use the flame to melt both sides to a molten pool, and then you insert filler wire to fill the gap. And I'll try and show you both, but it's far from ideal. It's a bit windy tonight. You normally would do this in a workshop, and I'm outside in the street as usual. So it's a bit windy. I'm trying to work with a very, very delicate flame. And I'm also going to try and work it onto a brick. And the brick is going to absorb quite a lot of the heat. So I'm not going to make the best job of it. I know that. I just want to sort of get a handle on, whether I can still weld or not. I suspect I can. It's a bit like learning to swim. You never or riding a bike. You never really forget. And I have my glasses here. These are oxy-acetylene glasses. You can see through them. I don't know. Let's have a look. Let's put it up to the camera. Look, the camera can see through that. They're like extremely dark sunglasses. You couldn't do MIG welding or TIG welding. They'll give off the most intense light. You need a special helmet, but you do need to be able to see a bit better with when you're working with the bottles and a torch. You cannot really see what the hell you're doing if you put on a welder's a full helmet shield is the word I'm trying to say. And let me see, what else do I need? Oh yes, my gloves. It's always very important to wear gloves because we are dealing with a flame. It's probably about 750, 800 degrees centigrade on the tip there. So let's just let me put the glasses on. I've got the glasses on my face, but I can see perfectly well. They're just like dark sunglasses. But if I were wearing a welder's a MIG or a TIG shield, I wouldn't be able to see a thing. I'd be fiddling about. But once you've sparked up the arc on either arc welding, TIG welding, or MIG welding, it's that intense. You can see through. You can see through the most, deepest of shields. But with this, it doesn't give off enough light. You wouldn't be able to. So anyway, I'm just going to turn on. I haven't discussed setting up the regulators, but I will in another film. So let's just turn on a bit of acetylene. and this gives a very smoky flame. Way too fierce. So look at the black smoke pouring off that. Perfectly normal. When you apply the oxygen, see, that's got a little bit of oxygen in it, but what we need to achieve is, we want, coming out of the nozzle, we want a tiny little point about 3-4 millimeters long, and then we want like a fluffy cone which is about 3/4 of an inch long surrounding that, and this yellow flame will almost disappear. It will have a bit of a flame, but let me just try and show you. There we go. Let's just turn up the oxygen. First of all, I'll do it. See, that's got a tiny little cone, but there's no, I don't know how much the camera can pick up. Let's just try and do it against the black of the cylinder. See, we have got a blue cone, but that's too hot, way too hot. What I need to do is adjust the gas slightly so that we keep the cone, and then it gets like a little fluffy edge around it. Let's just, you should be able to see it on the camera. No, that's getting worse, more aggressive. Bit more acetylene. There we go. So that's just changed completely. So we've got, as I said to you, like a fluffy cone which comes out about an inch to half an inch till it's blown around the wind, and then we've still got the little point. That's the hottest. This bit here, I don't know if the camera can pick both colours up, but there's two cones. There's one cone that ends just here, then the other cone that ends there, and there is a blue flame coming out, but that's actually quite a cool flame. That would, you'd be there all day trying to get it to melt. But anyway, let's see if we can. I'm going to try it first of all without any filler wire. Let's just see. And what we need to do is sort of, we need to have. I need to let the metal touch somewhere in this secondary flame here, just above the tip of the extremely hot small cone. And I'm going to try and achieve a molten pool. I'm going to put some tacks on first. Let's just turn that in. There we go. It's just starting to melt now. It's going orange. There we go. There we go. It's not well adjusted. It's not hot enough. Not hot enough. Let's say I'm a bit out of practice, but never mind. I'll get the hang of it. There we go. Let's turn the acetylene up again. There we go. Oh, that's too hot. Come on. I think that's about right. Let's try again. There we go. Molten pool. And I'm making a bit of a hash of this. No, the plates are not fitting well enough together. That's why I'm making holes in it. Let's just try and... No, I'm not making a very good job of this at all. I do need some practice. I just practice for a couple of hours on scraps. There we go. This is somewhat better. There we go. Just put a couple of tacks on because it does distort. You get a lot of distortion with oxy-acetylene. I'm going to put some filler wire in because I haven't made a very good job of. There we go. A little bit of filler wire. I really haven't made a very good job of it. Never mind. I might as well show you what a good job and a bad job is. And the flame, I definitely not got the flame adjusted correctly. This should be melting much quicker than this. But no, I'm making a real hash of this. But like I say, I'll show you and show you what not to do. I'll practice a bit more. Get his glasses off. I'll practice a bit more. Let's just turn that off. I definitely need to practice a bit more and come back to this, and we'll have another look. But like I say, I've not welded for more than 25 years. But it appears to be holding, but when I turn this around I know there won't really be any penetration, and there isn't. Look, you can see a clear line. You know, it hasn't penetrated. You know, the flame was no good. You know, it wasn't adjusted correctly, and a lot of the heat is being lost into that brick. But I haven't actually got set up with it. I don't particularly want to be burning my my axle stand. Not the axle stands. They're whatever they're called. I can't remember what the things are called. Ramps. Let's just let's have another go at this and see if I can do a better job. I'm sure, I know I can, it's just going to take a bit of practice. Right, filler wire. Whenever you're using filler wire, it comes in much longer lengths, and I've cut this in half. It's a good habit to be bending the end over, because you can easily catch yourself in the eye, or catch something because you're sort of down and you're working away, and you can easily stab somebody else in the eye if they come up behind you. But that wouldn't be very nice, but it'd be much preferable to having the sharp end. So I'd definitely rather have the blunt end in the eye if I have to have a choice. Right, let's have another go and see if I can make a better job this time. It's clearly going to take at least an hour or two of practice to get this, get this right before I even try to do it on my car. Nah, just there we go. Just adjust the pressure on the bottle. Sure why that's popping, to be honest with you. Shouldn't be. It's making a funny popping sound. Anyway, I'll tell you what, this is getting far too long. I'm going to have to stop, and I'll come back and do a better job.